Welcome to ISO 27001 and NIST Integration, Unified Information Security. In the next 15 minutes, we'll show you how to map ISO 27001 to the NIST Cybersecurity Framework and NIST SP 800-53, design an integrated security program, and prepare for audits using unified documentation. If your organization needs both ISO certification and NIST alignment, this overview will save you months of duplicate effort. Let's get started. Let's start with why integration matters. Many organizations must comply with both ISO 27001 and NIST frameworks. Running them as separate programs wastes resources and creates gaps. Understanding what each framework contributes is the first step toward effective integration. ISO 27001 provides a certifiable management system framework. It offers 93 controls in Annex A, a risk-based approach formalized through the Statement of Applicability, global commercial recognition, and strong governance through leadership commitment, internal audit, and management review. NIST brings the cybersecurity framework with 6 core functions and over 800 detailed controls in SP 800-53 for unmatched technical depth. It is required for U.S. federal work and increasingly adopted globally. Its strength is in technical controls, continuous monitoring, and incident response. Here are the 4 most common reasons organizations pursue both frameworks simultaneously. Global companies often need ISO 27001 certification to satisfy European and Asia-Pacific clients, while simultaneously requiring NIST alignment for U.S. federal contracts, FedRAMP authorization, or supply chain requirements. ISO 27001 excels at governance, leadership, risk methodology, and continuous improvement. NIST excels at technical depth, detailed control specifications, monitoring requirements, and incident response. Together, they close gaps that neither framework addresses fully alone. Running separate compliance programs means duplicating risk assessments, maintaining parallel documentation, delivering overlapping training, and scheduling redundant audits. Integration eliminates this waste and provides a single source of truth. Regulators and enterprise clients increasingly expect organizations to demonstrate alignment with multiple security frameworks. An integrated program shows maturity and reduces the burden of responding to security questionnaires and vendor assessments. The foundation of integration is understanding how the 2 frameworks map to each other. Let's look at the key alignment points between ISO 27001 clauses and NIST CSF functions. Here is how the core ISO 27001 clauses align with NIST CSF functions. ISO 27001 clauses 4 and 5, covering organizational context and leadership, map directly to the NIST CSF govern function. Both require understanding the business context, defining risk appetite, assigning roles, and securing leadership commitment. These can be documented once and referenced by both frameworks. ISO 27001 Clause 6 on planning and risk maps to the NIST CSF identify function. Both require risk assessment methodology, asset identification, threat and vulnerability analysis, and risk treatment decisions. A single risk assessment can satisfy both frameworks when it covers ISO 27005 and NIST RMF requirements. ISO 27001 Annex A controls map primarily to the NIST CSF protect and detect functions. Access control, cryptography, and operational security align with protect. Monitoring and logging align with detect. SP 800-53 provides the technical detail that Annex A leaves to the organization to define. ISO 27001 clauses 8 through 10, covering operations, evaluation, and improvement, map to the NIST CSF respond and recover functions. Incident management, business continuity, and corrective action processes serve both frameworks when designed with dual-purpose documentation. NIST SP 800-53 provides the technical depth that ISO 27001 Annex A intentionally leaves flexible. Here is how they complement each other. ISO 27001 Annex A defines 93 controls that specify what security objectives to achieve. For example, Annex A Control 8.5 requires secure authentication, but it does not prescribe exactly how to implement it, leaving that to the organization. NIST SP 800-53 provides over 800 controls with detailed technical implementation guidance. For the same authentication objective, SP 800-53 specifies multi-factor requirements, session management, credential lifecycle, and specific technical configurations. Integration creates a unified control set where Annex A provides the objective and SP 800-53 provides the implementation detail. This gives organizations both the certifiable ISO structure and the technical rigor that auditors, clients, and regulators expect. The practical benefit is a single evidence base. One set of policies, procedures, test results, and audit trails can satisfy both ISO 27001 certification auditors and NIST assessment requirements, eliminating duplicate documentation. Now let's move from mapping to implementation. The course provides a structured roadmap for building an integrated ISMS NIST security program from the ground up. Here is the architecture for an integrated security program that satisfies both ISO 27001 and NIST requirements. Start with a unified governance layer. Create one integrated security policy that references both ISO 27001 and NIST CSF. Use a combined risk assessment methodology that satisfies ISO 27005 and the NIST risk management framework. Run a single management review that covers both frameworks. Build a merged control framework. Map every Annex A objective to corresponding SP 800-53 controls. Create a unified statement of applicability that includes NIST control references. Maintain a cross-referenced control library that auditors from either framework can navigate. Run integrated operations. Use one incident response process that meets both ISO and NIST reporting requirements. Deploy unified monitoring and logging that feeds both compliance streams. Maintain a single change management process with dual framework impact assessment. Finally, build unified assurance. Run a combined internal audit program that tests controls against both frameworks. Maintain a shared evidence repository. Coordinate external assessments so ISO certification audits and NIST assessments share preparation and evidence. Risk assessment is where integration delivers the most value. A single assessment can serve both frameworks. Use ISO 27005 as the structural framework for risk assessment and overlay NIST RMF security categorization. ISO 27005 provides the methodology. NIST RMF provides impact levels and control baselines. Together, they create a risk assessment that is both certifiable and technically rigorous. Maintain a single risk register with columns for ISO risk treatment decisions, NIST control family mapping, and shared ownership. This eliminates the common problem of parallel risk registers that drift apart over time. Align risk acceptance criteria with both the ISO risk appetite defined by leadership and the NIST impact levels that determine control baselines. Risks accepted under ISO should also be acceptable under the corresponding NIST categorization. Schedule risk reviews that satisfy both frameworks. ISO requires periodic risk reassessment. NIST emphasizes continuous monitoring. An integrated program combines periodic deep reviews with continuous automated monitoring to cover both expectations. The audit strategy determines how efficiently you can demonstrate compliance with both frameworks. For internal audit, ISO requires an annual cycle covering all clauses and applicable controls. NIST expects ongoing assessment of control effectiveness. The integrated approach uses a combined audit program with shared checklists, unified findings tracking, and a single corrective action process. For documentation, ISO requires an ISMS manual, statement of applicability, and risk treatment plan. NIST requires a system security plan, plan of action and milestones, and assessment reports. The integrated approach creates a unified document set with cross-references so each document serves both frameworks. For external assessment, ISO requires a certification body audit in 2 stages. NIST may require third-party assessment or self-assessment depending on the context. Coordinate timing so a single evidence collection cycle serves both assessments, reducing preparation burden significantly. Integration is not without challenges. Here are the most common obstacles and how to overcome them. The most common challenges include different terminology between the frameworks, the granularity mismatch between 93 Annex A controls and 800 plus SP 800 to 53 controls, organizational silos where compliance owns ISO and IT security owns NIST, and audit fatigue from overlapping assessment cycles. Proven solutions include creating a mapping glossary for terminology alignment, grouping SP 800 to 53 controls under Annex A objectives so the detail supports the structure, establishing a cross-functional governance committee that owns the integrated program, and running a combined audit calendar with shared evidence collection. Let's close with the most important lessons from ISO 27001 and NIST integration. First, ISO 27001 and NIST are complementary, not competing. ISO provides the certifiable management system and governance structure. NIST provides technical control depth and continuous monitoring. Together, they create a more comprehensive security program than either achieves alone. Second, integration eliminates massive duplication. A single risk assessment, merged control framework, and shared evidence repository can serve both ISO certification audits and NIST assessments, cutting compliance effort by 40 to 60%. Third, the mapping between Annex A objectives and SP 800 to 53 controls is the backbone of integration. Annex A defines what to achieve. SP 800 to 53 defines how to achieve it. This layered approach satisfies both auditors and engineers. And fourth, start with governance alignment at the top, then merge controls, integrate operations, and unify assurance activities incrementally. Organizations already certified to one framework can add the other efficiently using the shared management system structure. That wraps up our overview of ISO 27001 and NIST integration. In the full Udemy course, you'll get detailed mapping between ISO 27001 and NIST CSF and SP 800 to 53, a complete implementation roadmap, unified risk assessment methodology, audit and certification strategy, and practical guidance for overcoming integration challenges. Use the course to build one security program that satisfies both frameworks. Thank you for watching. If this overview was useful, subscribe for more information security, compliance, and framework integration content. See you in the course.